Did you just buy a Galaxy S24 or Z Fold 6 and assume One UI 8.5 was months away? Samsung's own website just confirmed the first wave, and the rollout already started. I'll tell you the exact devices, the timing, and the features worth checking the second it lands. Today we're talking about One UI 8.5, Samsung's Android 16-based update that finally moved from long beta limbo into an official rollout. If you've been refreshing software update, this is the confirmed list and what changes first. Alright, here's the headline. Samsung has confirmed the first batch of phones and tablets getting One UI 8.5, and the rollout has already begun. The rollout officially commenced on 6 May in South Korea, and then it expands outward in phases. That means if you're in Europe, Hong Kong, India, Latin America, North America, Southeast Asia, or Taiwan, you're basically in the waiting room right now, and the door can open any day. Not weeks, not sometime this quarter, but any day, depending on your carrier and region. Now, before we get into features, here's the confirmed device list straight from Samsung's website, and I'm going to read it clean so there's no confusion. 1. The Samsung Galaxy S25 series. 2. The Samsung Galaxy S25 FE. 3. The Samsung Galaxy S24 series. 4. The Samsung Galaxy S24 FE. 5. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. 6. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. 7. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. 8. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. 9. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 series. 10. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 series. If your device is on that list, you're in the first wave. If it's not, it doesn't mean you're out forever, but it does mean you are not in the confirmed batch Samsung is publicly attaching dates and rollout language to right now. Quick timeline recap so it makes sense. One UI 8.5 first debuted with the Galaxy S26 launch, and then it showed up on the Galaxy F57. After that, we got stuck in that weird place where beta builds were floating around older phones and tablets. But the stable build just wasn't moving at the speed people expected. 4 months of testing later, Samsung is finally pushing the official release. And yeah, you're going to hear people say, it's a point update, it can't be that big. Except this one is huge. We're talking about a roughly 4.4 gigabytes download in many regions, and it feels closer to a zero refresh than a tiny mid-cycle patch, especially on the Galaxy S25 series. So what do you actually get? First, the overall feel. One UI 8.5 has a cleaner interface with subtle visual adjustments across the system. You're not relearning your phone, but you will notice smoother animations, better optimized layouts, and navigation that feels more polished. The stable build after a long beta cycle usually means Samsung has been hunting down the annoying stuff: stutters, delayed UI responses, and inconsistent animations. This is the kind of update you feel more than you see, and that's a good thing. Now let's hit one of the biggest daily use changes, the Quick Panel. Samsung finally loosens its grip here. The Quick Panel is now more customizable, meaning you can rearrange toggles more freely, adjust the layout, and reposition sliders. On paper that sounds minor, but in real use it's everything. If you're someone who toggles hotspot, Bluetooth, or do not disturb all the time, you're going to feel that speed boost instantly because the panel can finally match your habits instead of forcing you into Samsung's layout. And if you use Good Lock, Quick Start adds even more control. That's where the customization goes from nice to dangerous, because once you start tweaking, you're gonna keep tweaking. Next, AI is clearly the core theme again, but One UI 8.5 pushes it in a more practical direction. Let's start with Now Nudge. This is a contextual suggestion system that proactively surfaces reminders and actions based on what you're doing, your routines, and what's on your screen. So instead of you digging through apps and menus, the phone nudges you with the next best step. Navigation prompts, app shortcuts, reminders, or task suggestions. The important part is that it's designed to reduce taps. If it's tuned well, this becomes one of those features you don't brag about, you just quietly rely on. Now Brief is also more personalized. Think of it like Samsung tightening the loop between your day and the interface. It's not just here's a card with info, it's more like here's what matters right now. Call screening is another feature people are going to care about immediately. If your phone is basically a magnet for unknown numbers, screening plus smarter on-device intelligence can save you time, and honestly, a lot of annoyance. Now, the photo and content tools. Photo Assist is upgraded in a way creators and regular users both benefit from. One of the biggest changes is the edit history approach. You can generate and edit images continuously without saving every single version as a separate file. Your edits are stored in a history panel, so you can jump back, restore, or compare. That's the kind of workflow change that makes the tool feel less like a gimmick and more like a real editing suite built into your gallery. And then there's Quick Share. Samsung upgraded Quick Share so transfers are smarter. It can recognize people in photos and recommend contacts accordingly, so if you take a group shot, it can surface the right people faster. It's small, but it's the kind of family feature that saves friction. The bigger headline, though, is direct sharing to iOS devices through Quick Share. That's massive because it cuts out the awkward dance of third-party apps, links, and compression issues. If it works reliably across regions and devices, it's one of the most practical ecosystem upgrades Samsung has shipped in a while. Now Bixby. Yes, we have to talk about Bixby, because Samsung is pitching this as a revamped assistant that's more conversational and intent-based. The goal is that you don't need perfect commands anymore. You describe what you want, and the assistant figures out the steps, changes settings, and even suggests better configurations based on what you already have enabled. It can also pull real-time web info directly in the interface. If Samsung delivers on this, it turns Bixby from occasionally useful into actually part of daily use. Ecosystem features are also getting a serious boost. Storage Share is one of the most underrated additions here. It lets you browse files stored on other Samsung devices wirelessly through the My Files app. So your phone can see stuff on your tablet, your PC, and even your TV in supported cases, without you manually exporting everything. This is Samsung trying to make storage feel unified across your devices, and for anyone who works between a Galaxy phone and a Galaxy Tab, it can be a legit workflow upgrade. There's also audio broadcast, built around Auracast and LE audio compatibility. The idea is you can stream media and voice simultaneously to nearby compatible devices for shared listening. In group settings, this can be way cleaner than passing earbuds around or fighting over whose speaker is louder. Now let's talk security, because One UI updates always hide some of the most important stuff there. Samsung is adding theft protection designed to safeguard your data if your device is lost or stolen. There's also a failed authentication lock that kicks in after repeated failed attempts with fingerprints, pins, or passwords. An identity check expands to more settings and controls, adding extra protection against unauthorized access. These features aren't flashy, but they matter because losing a phone is less about losing hardware and more about losing access. One more detail for the S25 Ultra crowd. The horizontal lock feature that showed up with the Galaxy S26 Ultra is making its way to your device with One UI 8.5. It's one of those quality-of-life changes that makes the phone feel newer without changing the hardware. Now here's the part people always ask. Will every feature land on every device on the list? No, not perfectly. Most of the Galaxy AI features should be available on the Galaxy S25 series at least, but some features may not filter all the way down to older devices, either due to hardware limitations, region restrictions, or Samsung's feature tiering. So if you're on a Galaxy S24 or Z Flip 6, expect the core UI refresh and many features, but don't assume you're getting every single AI trick shown on the newest flagships. So what should you do right now if you're eligible? Go to Settings, then Software Update, then tap Check for updates. If you don't see it yet, don't panic. The rollout is phased and region-based, and carriers can slow it down. But because the rollout already started, the wait is typically measured in days, not seasons. And one more tip, if you're planning to update, clear some space first. A multi-gig update plus post-update optimization can temporarily chew storage, and you don't want the update failing at 92%. The One UI 8.5 isn't trying to reinvent Samsung's look. It's trying to make the phone feel faster, smarter, and more personal, while tightening the ecosystem. And for a lot of people, that's exactly the upgrade that matters. Open your settings right now and check for the update. Then come back and tell me two things: your device model and your region. I want to track which markets get the One UI 8.5 first. After that, test Now Nudge for a week and notice whether it actually stays taps or just throws noise at you. Updates aren't about flashy marketing, they're about friction you stop feeling. And if Samsung delivers on quick share to iOS and storage share across devices, that's real convenience, not filler features. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates. Goodbye.